Today on Carolina Boy, we're going back to an old map, Westbridge Hills 25. Let's check out this map and see if it's a 1-star, a 3-star, or maybe a 5-star map. Hey YouTube and Farming Simulator fans, this is Carolina Boy. Decided to crank up my PlayStation 5, went back into Farming Simulator 25, and when I was going through the maps, I found that they have uploaded a brand new Westbridge Hills map going all the way back to 2015, and now they've got it in 2025. So, got to crank this up and test this map out. So we start out at the map here. We're at the store, and I like the fact that they give you a old pickup truck. You got some pallet of wood on there, and looking at the map so far, looks like the old map. They got some extra trees. You know, you're talking about 10 years later, you're going back to an old place. I see we've got some fences up. That's a new location. Never had fences there before. The trees have grown up. Let's see, so we got some gates. Be nice if we actually had some signs above the gates there, but that's not bad. Looking good. Looks like we got some updated barns. Barns have a lot of opening doors, which is really nice. I like that. And going around looking at more of the farm, you got some gates you can open up. If Winston's watching, he remembers. I always love having gates and stuff that opens up. So that's pretty cool having, we have a gate there, a great gated courtyard. So keep on riding around. We'll take a look at the map a little bit more. So the barn over here to the side has a brand new extension. Almost like it's a classroom. That's kind of interesting. That's something new. So you'll find out when you start playing this map, there's a lot of new features that's been added to this map. And I've already played it for a couple of hours already. And not bad, not bad. I've done a lot of maps in the past, and I have played this map on different PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and I have seen some terrible conversions. So this one has a lot of bells and whistles. It's got a lot of nice buildings on it. And pretty surprising, the file size is only like 150 meg or so. It's pretty tiny. So that's good that they're using in-game material, in-game buildings and stuff. So let's keep on down the road. Looking around, of course you got the fields to your left and the farms there to your right, all the farm equipment, the buildings. And here's your house. The house has been updated. It's a little bit different. Of course, you got the old man out there. So let's hear what he has to say.
If this isn't a successful farmer standing in front of me, you can call me a goat and feed me some oat. I just noticed your bank account. Listen, I'm proud of you, kiddo. Don't you think this is about money, though? You brought stability and security to the farm. That's all I ever wanted. Not the money. That's just an indicator. Now, get yourself some fancy new machines or something. Congratulations.
Okay, let's run around here and take a look at the detail. There is a lot of detail. This is fantastic. Somebody spent a lot of time working on this map. This map has never looked this good before. There's stuff everywhere, and I like the fact how around the back of the house here, we never had a road that would go from the driveway to the back of the farm. Take a look at the little tugboat in here. I don't know how you're going to get that boat in and out. That thing's going to be kind of heavy getting in and out of this little shed here, but that's pretty cool. I like that. And there's another shed right here. It also has some more boats and fishing stuff. I think the old man needs to go fishing is what he's trying to tell us. He's ready to retire and move on. So, oh, we found our first coin in the game. We got quite a few of them that we need to go and try and find, and over a few hours I was able to find a few of them already. So that makes it exciting to find the coins again. Not sure if I've seen another map that had that added back to it. That was something that was a lot of fun in the old version, where you could find the gold coins, or you know, you can find the toys and stuff. But I like that. I like that you can find coins again, trinkets. But anyway, so we got a lot of doors that open, and really nice that we have a lot of these different types of barns that have lights. They have a lot of different doors that open. Now I was trying to figure out, never seen one like this before, where the lights, there is no actual light switch. The room itself has the ability to turn the lights on and off. So not sure when they started putting that in the map, if that's a recent update, but I definitely like that. That makes it a lot easier trying to turn the lights on when you walk into a barn and stuff. So here's the path I was talking about. Let's see, let's go around over here. A lot of detail. And of course you have to look around for these coins to see where they're hidden at. And let's see, let's get back, let's go back over here and look. So we got a combine over here. We have another barn. And it doesn't have any doors on it. But we have a place that we can put some hay in here if we want to put some hay. It's a nice little barn to do that. It's got this little area right here. I think I might put the header trailer in there to get it out of the way. So we'll come back to that later. Got a nice old Western style Massey combine. So I'm going to go ahead and get the hired help, get him working on this field. This is, of course, your first field that you have. I think it's the only field you have when you start the game. So we'll go ahead and get the combine going. Hopefully the in-game noise is not too loud. I tried to put it down real low. And of course it's got the hay coming out. I'm not one that likes to do baling hay, but we'll let that be for now. I'll disc it in, cultivate it in when it comes time for that. So not bad combine to start with. Doesn't hold a lot of grain, but it's got a decent sized header on it. So that gets you started pretty well in this map. I always loved playing this map. I have played this map so many times. I have converted it around. I have played it on the console. I think it was the PlayStation 4, or it might have been the PlayStation 5. I think it was the PlayStation 4 that they gave us the first time that we can actually edit this map in game. So I did a lot of editing and it, changed it around, put in different barns, add different mods to it. And I've played this map 100 different ways. And it's just, this has always been one of my favorite maps. Now this is going to be a little interesting with the gates here. I don't know about the gates being right there. That's going to be kind of tight. But I do like that, the path. There's two paths that goes back up to the house. One that goes around to the field, and then one that goes to the back of the house. So I think that is really interesting. And again, I'm not big on fences. So, oh, we got a tree that's floating in the air. And of course it happens. It's one of those things that you miss. It's real easy to miss. But so far, there's not very many things I've seen. Now I do like the fact that they have the conveyor belts here in the back of the barn. That was one thing I liked about this barn. And I do like the fact they got them turned sideways. That was the problem I always had, is when you put the conveyor belt straight on, it seemed like you had to either jack them up or do something, or you end up hitting them if you had something too tall. So I like the fact that they have them turned sideways. Now we have a good array of equipment here. We do have some fertilizer, some herbicides, some insecticide, all that stuff here in the barn. I like that you're able to start off with something that to me is a pain when you have to go and buy this stuff and then bring it to the farm later. And there's your sprayer there. So everything is not bad. You start out with a decent sized trailer. The tractors aren't bad. They're kind of a low power, but they're not too bad. That gets you started well. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this. Go ahead and grab this trailer here and take it on out there to the combine. That combine's gonna fill up pretty quickly. So we got a plow and a cultivator over there. Got an old white tractor. So yeah, the little fence here, this is, I don't know if we can remove it. I might try and remove some of it later. But it's not too bad to get around through there. It's going to be difficult to get bigger equipment in here, because I always play this map with bigger equipment. That's one thing I like about this map. Now it is interesting how we still have the layout of the map. We got the hills in the same places. And it's so funny, if you play this map long enough, you know where there's certain bumps and hills in the grass and stuff. And I've ridden around and I've already found them. They're still there. So it's kind of quite funny that nobody went and smoothed out those bumps in the map here and there. But that's one of those things where you really have to play the map to know where all those bumps are hidden. So let the combine keep on going, and let's see what we can find out here. Let's go. Oh yeah, we have to get that header trailer off the field. So let's go ahead and move that off the field now. I do love the fact that whoever designed this map put this little this trail right here, this little path to the barn. I think that's something new and something different, and it breathes a lot of new life in this map. So I think that's exciting to see that. And there's a bunch of things that I've already found. Like for instance, you can buy the houses in the town. We've never been able to do that before. And I think that is just absolutely fantastic. There's a lot of things in the town too. Whoever worked on this map, you did a good job. There's a lot of things in this map that's been added that wasn't there before. Even a place where you can run horses. I've seen that. Kind of like a horse competition type area. That's really neat. That's something that we've never had before in this map. So I haven't been able to go all around the map yet to look at everything. I have found some things that we took for granted, like the old restaurant down south. That was a grain station there. That grain station is now a different type of grain station. That's not a grain station anymore, but it is a place where you can drop flour and you know, new stuff that's in the game now. So that's going to breathe a lot of new life in this map by changing a lot of these places where we knew we could go to before to sell our grain, and now nope, we have to take that grain to where you need to take it. So this is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a lot of fun playing this game on the PlayStation 5. Now I haven't gone out and bought the latest Farming Simulator yet. I'm still on this version. So looking around the courtyard here, we got this large building here. So inside the barn, you'll see we have our seeder, and we do have seed over here to the side. So that is nice that we have that inside the building, that we can at least get started. For so many years, we had the seed station and the fertilizer station on the outside of this barn in many versions. And to actually have a barn that we can open doors and drive and park stuff in, I think that's exciting. That's something very new that really does. Now it's going to be kind of tricky getting into this section right here with the way the doors swing out, trying to back something in. You might have to use a small tractor to bring stuff in, but I do believe there is a gate on the end of this, a door on the end. Yep, there is a door right there. But with the fences on the outside, it's going to be a little tight in there. Of course, this you can go out to the road and you can drive straight in. It's got a lot of detail. Not sure where all these barns came from, but they're really nice. And there's stuff everywhere. Stuff and buckets and pallets and boxes and trash, it's everywhere. A lot of places to park stuff in this barn. Not so sure about big equipment though. I like big equipment. The old barn there, that looks like the original barn. They changed the color scheme on it to this red color scheme. Now this is an old barn. This is an interesting barn. This is just literally it's barely standing barn. It only has one door. I don't think you can do anything with it. Just look at it. I have to see about what you can remove from this map. And there's another barn. Now it does have nice roll-up doors. I like these doors. That was one thing we always had an issue with previous versions, trying to get nice doors that rolled up. Winston was able to find a bunch of them in the past. Be nice if it had a little bit more lighter color on it. It kind of blends in with if you don't have the sun just right, and it really makes it dark. The detail on it is nice. I do again love how you can turn the lights on and off just by walking into an area. You don't have to go hunting down the light switches, which of course in reality you're not going to have that ability unless you have some kind of remote control light switch. But let's see. All right, what can we do now? All right, the combine still doing okay. It's getting close there. Let's see. What I normally do is when I start a map like this, I'll try and work the first field just to get some money, and then I'll start selling off of the equipment and going ahead and getting more equipment that I like. Some bigger farm equipment. Now, that's kind of interesting. I guess that's the light switch controller. Not really sure what it does. Just turns the lights on and off. So, not sure if this is being hidden in the other barns that have the lights. Pretty interesting. Kind of showing you, hey, there's a light switch. And that is in a couple barns that I have seen. Let's see. So we still have our fuel tank here over to the side, but it is a new design that you have to go and fill up yourself. So that's something that we took for granted for many years in the old maps. We had free gas. No more free gas. You got to work for that gas now. Work for that diesel. So walking up through the woods here, just kind of get an overview. It's about the same. It feels a little different. A little older, a little changed, you know. The trees are grown up some more. We got some extra grain storage now. What I like to do is take all that out and put a bigger grain station in, bigger tanks. Kind of more American style, large farm style. But that's still nice to start out with. I'm not sure what how many bushels it can hold, but with the extra storage on there, it's probably 500,000 to 1 million. I don't know. Maybe not there's another light switch hidden in this barn. Now these barns in the past, they never had light switches, so it's nice having light switches in these barns now. The old map, when it got dark, you went home. You didn't stay out in the field and keep working, or have to put the stuff up in the barn. Oh, well, combine needs a dump, so let's take our trailer over there and let's get some grain. Then we'll figure out what else we want to do. So a lot of times what I was saying is when I start this map in the past, all this extra green area you see, before I start buying fields, I will expand this field out to fill out all of this green area, just up to the trees where I'm not running into the trees. But I will take all this extra green, that extra land, the headland out, and get every single acre I can out of this field and start planting crops in that have a higher yield, just so I can build up my resources to start buying fields out. And again, like I said, I do take some of the old equipment that you first start the game with and sell that off too. But a lot of times you don't get that much money at first. So I like to go and take the field and get a couple of the cheap fields and really max out the land on them to try and get the most acres I can from it. All right, let's get this out of the way. Let the combine keep on working. The hired help's doing his job. Let's see what we can find. Go looking around this map a little bit. Let's hop up here and get on top of the tractor and let's take a little overview. Look at that, isn't that nice? Yep. Going back to Westbridge Hills. Yep, I see a lot of potential. I think I might restart this. And there you can see all around the map there. And what's interesting is the village. All those houses are for sale. And most of them are about a 1 acre lot or so. So let's see, let's go ride into town and take a look at all that over there. You know, I think I'm gonna go. Let's go in here and I'm gonna change my settings. I like to kind of adjust the settings a little bit more. So, you know, it's funny. You can remember where everything is if you go from 15, 17, 19, but 25, the stuff is, I don't know. It just seems like you got to go hunting for things a lot more now. Go digging around. So I'm going to go ahead and change some settings the way I like them. I'm looking for the camera view. I think I'm in the wrong location. I think I got to be in the graphic setting. I always forget what it's called. And of course you hit the wrong button. Now you got to go back into it. So easy to hit the wrong button to get out of it. There you go, the field of view. I never can remember what the best number setting is for these. I was thinking it's like 60, 65, something like that. But you don't know. Is it the field of view? Is the first player, the third player? I think it's the field of view. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Yeah, that looks better. I might change that again. Try a different, maybe a higher number. All right, let's go ride and take a look at more of this map. I do love the attention to detail by putting in the power lines and more signs, road signs. Uh, Again, whoever worked on this map, whoever configured this map, y'all did a really good job. Really bringing this map into the new century, in a new decade. And of course, we still have the old farm store, but we actually have real tractors instead of flat tractors. And I do like that there's actually people in there just standing around. And of course, I don't know if y'all saw that. I come back later and I realized that there is a gold nugget sitting on the table in there. So, but I wanted to see what is this truck out here? Just a, okay. It's one of those trucks, you want to grab it out of the models and go throw it into the editor and see if you can make it your own. You know, Winston had one of these barns one time. He went and fixed it, and we had doors on them, had an inside shop. I don't know what map that was. I don't know, Winston, if you remember what that map was, but we did have a shop that was inside of that building that you could bring stuff in and work on it. That was really cool. I don't know if that was in 17 or 19 that we did that. Alright, let's go downhill and head to the town. Haven't gone up the hill yet to see if the old movie theaters, the drive-in theater's still up there yet. I was looking at this. What does that sign say? And of course, yeah, get right in my way. Alright, get out of the way, car. I was trying to figure out, what does the sign say? It's a herbicide commercial. Now, I have noticed going around and looking at this map, the detail that is in these signs, even on the buildings. In the past, when you got up close to the buildings, the text would blur out. You couldn't make out what the text was saying. But the detail in this map is extremely high. It's just, again, it just brings new life into this map. Now, of course, this area right here has changed a lot. And I like that. It's different. There's a lot more to do, a lot more activity. I guess you can say we've had new businesses come in. Got a paper mill here. That's different. And of course, you got the birds flying over. There is a lot of places. A lot that's going to have to walk around and try and figure out exactly where and what you can do around here. Now, if you go and pay attention to the intro on the store, on the game store, when you actually want to download the map, the water points, water access is at all of the water towers on the map. And I think that's great. In the past, we never really had that I can remember. I don't know, I don't think it was like that in 15. Maybe later in 17 or 19, it might have been changed in a few maps where you could get water at the water towers. But I really think that is definitely upscaling this map to new features. And you can build a pond, and haven't found it yet, but in the description, supposedly there's a lake in this map too. And I don't know if I ever remember a lake in this map before. I might have to pull up the old, I still have the old map on the PlayStation 4 in various formats. And again, we have these barns, these buildings that you can walk in and look around, and you can use and store things in here. You can add it to your gameplay, that you can bring material in and use like forklifts and whatever. Now, you will watch this over here. There are places on this map where there's no collision. Not quite sure if that was meant to be like that, but let me change my view. And yeah, kind of getting a little stuck in this place right over here. Oh. But that happens. Winston and I did a lot of map conversions, and many times I would put in a grain station. There would be no collision on the grain station, and I'd go and drive the truck into the grain station. Literally, it would fall into the grain pit, and we'd have to go back in and put a collision there. And sometimes when you convert a building over, you lose the collisions. Now check out the detail in this right here. I love buildings like this that you can wander around and figure out. And of course, look at what we found. Number 2, got another gold nugget down in the bottom of that alley there. So there's at least 2 nuggets that we found. And if you count the one that's in the farm store, that's number 3. Let's see what other buildings we can find here. It's always cool when you got these. Uh-oh, we got to watch out for the cameras. I don't see a camera here, but there's a camera. Let's see, is anything we can do in here? Nope. Yep. But you see how all the signs, you can read every sign everywhere, inside and out. And that's really taking the gameplay to a new level. Guess I need to go and download some more maps. I've seen that the in-game mod map, there's a lot of new maps out there. Well, I've been taking a break for this for a while, helping my son with his gaming channel. And we've taken a break from that now. He's going to school a lot more. So there's the railroad track. And caution, don't go that way. Yep, it's always cool when you can find stuff around these buildings and look at. Just trying to figure out what that truck was. And I eventually found out, if I think that's the one, it looks like a UPS truck. It's actually a USPS truck, but the paint scheme on it makes it look more like a UPS truck. So I like the new vehicles that they've got driving around in this map. Even got a school bus. I'll show you that later. I had to get out of the vehicle and look at it. I think that's amazing. I don't remember school buses in the maps before. Let's go figure out where else we can go here. Alright, we wasted a lot of time here. Let's go ahead and get in the truck and let's ride on down. And let me show you something that I found. So if you notice right here, the railroad track is not where it needs to be. This crossing is on top of the ground. If you take your truck here, you are definitely going to get your truck caught on that. That needs to go a lot lower, and that happens. I've had it happen with me converting this map in the past and other maps. But you can see when I drive right up there, it's a good distance. Let's see, pay attention to the car behind, and yep, it bounces up. Alright, let's go into the town. I think you can easily spend half a day in the town walking around looking at everything. There's a lot going on in the town. A lot of people too. I find out in a minute. When I played this one time earlier, you don't want to park on the sidewalk. But we'll come back to there. So there's the UPS truck, but it's actually the USPS truck, because that is the post office, USPS. Now it does make you wonder, did the people that were converting this map, or the person that converted it, did you grab this from other maps? Because I noticed that some of the buildings have different names on them. This one has, I want to say, is Oklahoma. Owasso, Oklahoma, instead of Westbridge Hills, but that's fine. It's very, very cool building. A lot of detail in this building. And then we'll come over here, and of course there's another water tower right there. Didn't check to see if you can get water at that water tower, but you're supposed to be able to. There's a barbershop, a flea market. There's a lot of stuff going on in this building. And right next to this building, now it's really impressive. You see the interior graphic gives it definition, almost a little bit 3D. Of course, it looks a little odd right there in that corner. But this right here is nice. I like this building. Not sure if this building has been in other maps. I haven't seen this building before that I can remember. Let's see if we walk around and take a look at the back. There's where you can actually, that's where you can buy just about anything you need at this warehouse. A lot of stuff. Let's see, let's go around the alley. Let's go around the back way. So there is an area in this back way, that right there. Now I'm not sure if that's where the stuff arrives when you buy it. Is that where it shows up? I'm guessing so. This is the buy and sell, sell and buy. And over here is, I guess that's, yeah, there's your sell point. So the other place is where you pick it up. I have to try and buy some stuff and come over here and pick it up. Yep, a lot of detail. So I'm wondering if this is buildings that's been taken out of Farming Simulator 25. I don't even remember if I'm in Farming Simulator 22 at this point. Oh. It's whatever's on the PlayStation 5. And going back to my earlier comment, on the consoles, it is so hard to find a good map that's interesting to keep playing because of lack of detail. And you know, when you're on the PC, you can convert it any way you want to. You can change it up any way you want to. But on the console, you're pretty limited. I like the fact now that you can start with a blank map, or a lot of this stuff now you can go in and actually either sell it or you can demolish it. Some of the stuff. I don't know if the lot is purchasable. I'm thinking that you can go in there and be willing to try buy one of the houses and see if you can sell the house and then put something new on the lot. That would be interesting. One thing I've always noticed though, and this is what's so annoying, even though you can buy a lot, when you go and put something on the lot, if it's not perfectly level, you end up with the building is either in the ground or above the ground, or you've got the build ramps up around it, and that's so annoying. You should be able to take a house or a building or whatever and put it right on the ground, and it should always go back to the level of the ground. But that's how whoever makes the mod, they have to go in there and put those settings in there. So the combine is ready to dump again. Let's go get some more grain. That's the only thing about these older combines. It takes a long time for them. But we've been riding around the map, not paying attention, so it's been waiting on us. So I have been playing here and there on the console, the PlayStation 5, and been tweaking a map that I found and putting the buildings on it the way I like it, kind of readjusting the flow, adding some roads, tearing up some trees. There's the UPS truck going by. Might have to get this map on the PC and go edit that and change it to an Amazon Prime truck. It's just about got the right color. You just got to put an Amazon logo on it. That'd be interesting. Change it up some. But anyway, so far I'm really enjoying this map. It's got good, decent gameplay just like before, except for now it's got all the new features in it. Makes it a whole lot more fun to play. Oh, and there you go. There's the people lining up. My truck is on the sidewalk, and, well, I'm interfering with their walking. Yep. Well, let's go ahead and get on out of here. I think we're getting close to about an hour on this gameplay. So if you like the gameplay, if you like this review, and watch me play this map for the first time in a long time, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And leave me some comments if you've downloaded this map, and tell me what you think about it. I'll show you some more areas in the next video that I have found. There are some more buildings that have no collision on it, that you can walk right through the building. And how you like that, Winston? That's a nice truck. That looks kind of familiar. And looks like one of the courthouses or something. And there's always, oh yeah, take a look at the lights on this building. So when you walk up to the light, to the building, the lights go on and go off, depending on where you're standing. This building must have some light sensors on it. And it's not all the lights are doing it. Have to come back to this building at night and see what it looks like at night. Still, just an amazing detail in these mods and these buildings that have been added to this map. And the amount of cars, there are cars everywhere in this map. You know, in the previous versions, 15, 17, and 19, you had to go and place these cars in there. I'm not sure about, I haven't converted the map over into 22 or 25, whatever I've been playing lately. That shows you I haven't played it. I don't even pay attention. I just start up the game and jump in it. But really cool that you can buy these houses. And they're all about a little bit more than an acre, under an acre, maybe acre and a quarter. I think that's really interesting. That's something really new. We could probably go in there and buy up all these houses and put our own houses in there of any style that you like. Yeah, let's zoom in and take a look at it. Let's see, I'm in the wrong map. Let me get into it. There you go. Yep. That's really interesting. So, should we give this map a 1 star, 3 stars, or is it going to go higher? 4 star, 5 star? I don't know. I'd say right now we're definitely at a 3-star and rising. We'll have to play it some more and take a look at all these places and see how the gameplay is. Some of these places are going to be fun trying to deliver items to. But yeah, we'll have to go around and visit the other locations like I don't think there's a baseball field in this one. I think that what I've found so far, it's a football field, not a baseball field. But a lot of places that you can go to. I think this one was the bakery. Nice buildings. No, this one is the I don't think that one was the bakery. I think that was something else. Alright, we're going to wind this up in just a few minutes. I think this building here is some kind of hospital or some kind of medical building. I do enjoy and I love how you hear the noises, the inside noises, and of course you hear a plane. I think there's a plane going over somewhere. So a lot of good noises you hear in the new maps, makes it more interesting. They got a fire department in here too. Yeah, this is a fire department building I've never seen before. This is one of those buildings, Winston, we need to see if we can rip out the map and rip the doors off, put some doors on there, put some insides, and make this a usable fire department. Yep, interesting map. When we drove past that last time, I forgot to mention that. Have to remember that when we start doing the gameplay. There's a lime station right there, right where there was that paper mill was. Right across the street was a lime station. And farmers market. A lot of places in town to go visit. A lot of places to go visit to see if you can find more coins, more hidden treasure. Yep, right along here was where the baseball field was, if I remember right. Not what looks like a football field. It was a baseball diamond. And this one is definitely a football field. Which, it's a new map. It's a new era. So, it's time to have a football game. That picket fence is high enough you can't jump over it. So I figured I'd go through the bleachers, go around the field here and see. This would be a perfect location to find some hidden treasure. But I want to say so far I haven't found any treasure yet. Countryside High School. Jobs? You want to go work for giants? Oh, there's another building that's floating. This is one of those maps where you have hotspots, and then you tell it what building you want it to go there, and you have to check to make sure your XYZ is on the ground. And this one, it's definitely not on the ground. But this is minor stuff. It doesn't affect the gameplay. And if you never even come to this part of the field, you probably wouldn't even see that. But let's see, I will show you one more thing. And this will be the last part of it. Still looking to see if there's any hidden treasure in the bleachers. You would expect to find one underneath the bleacher. So this must be the school. And well, let's go to the school. Nope, no collision on that building. Yep. Huh. I just noticed there's a tunnel over there I'd never seen before. So, whatever building they got that from, there's no collision on it. No collision box, so you can walk right through that building. And it's definitely a one-sided graphic. Now, if you notice at the very beginning when I walked in there were actually windows that you could look into. And it's time to get the grain one more time. The combine is, it's almost finished for this field. And line up and get the grain. So come back and join me in episode 2 as we continue playing with Westbridge Hills 25, and let's go explore some more of the map and see what else we can find in this map. I will tell you that the cattle zone, where we typically had cattle in the past, the stuff is there, but I don't see how you can buy cattle and put the cattle in there yet. So I have to go in there and see about if we can actually have cattle in there. I don't see any place to feed them either. They don't have the feeder and the water troughs in there. So I'm wondering if we have more leeway now. Used to in the past, you could not do that. You had to have the cattle feeder and the water in a certain area. Yeah, here goes getting around this fence again. That's going to be annoying if we can't remove that fence. Alright, I think it's about time to bring this to an end. Alright, well, this is CarolinaBoy. If you like the video, go ahead and click like. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe back to my channel. And we'll be making more videos in the future. And that's it for now. So, y'all have a good day. Okay?